Welcome to The Ancient Way. I'm James.
I'm Marlia. And today, I kind of have a fun story.
Yes, let's go.
So, I had a pretty cool dream last night. I was kind of excited about it. I couldn't decide if I was going to share it or not, but I like it.
Good.
So,
I'm ready. I'm ready to hear it. I'm excited.
So this was a bizarre, I don't know if anybody's had dreams like this, but it felt like it came from the center of my body. It was like, I don't know, the core of me, which I think is actually your true person. You know, anyways, but from the center of my body, I was taken into a room. And in the room, Jesus was standing there. He was average height. He was literally the same height as everybody else. He was like 5'6", like a solid 5'6". You couldn't recognize him. I knew exactly who he was, but most people couldn't recognize him. He was so incredibly average. And I remember thinking that. I was like, wow, you are not...
Ultimate humility there, yeah.
Yeah. But my whole being was being pulled to him. But as I became an observer in this dream, I observed as he started to put himself in the middle of the room. He would draw himself into the middle of the room, and people would start to gather around him. At first, they were only behind him. They wouldn't look at his face. But then, when they came to look at his face, he let them strike him.
Oh, wow.
And so when they looked at him in the face, some people would respond and they would slap him across the face. And I watched as it went from slapping him in the face when looking at him to hitting him in the body. And it became this progressive. It came all the way into ripping his flesh.
Yeah.
And it accelerated everything to the cross.
Yeah.
But every time he was struck, the love that was in that room, I'm going to cry talking about it. It was so intense.
Yeah.
It was like, I can't even describe it. There was so much energy that came off that it was like ripples that would move through every single person. But the look on his face, he was pumped about it, is what it looked like. But it was, everybody felt, every time he was struck, you could feel that everybody felt so much love from him.
Yeah.
So I watched this whole scene play out, and I'm wrecked. I'm completely undone in this. Yeah. And so then as I was trying to communicate to a friend of mine, I was trying to describe this love encounter. I kept saying, it's the love portal. You have to go through the love portal. There's a love portal that opens up. Even when you strike him, a love portal opens up.
Yeah.
And I remember the response in the dream. People were like, well, that's just weird. And that feels really religious to go into a love portal. That doesn't make sense. And I remember the dream ended where I had this sadness come over me of oh, if people would only enter the love portal. It was just this, I don't know. But it freaking wrecked me, dude.
Wow.
I was driving on the way over here and
It's incredible.
There is so much I believe that the Lord wants us to know how much we are of his DNA.
Yeah.
And how much love he actually has for us. The passion, the zeal, the he doesn't even care. When we look him in the face and normally we triggered, I think when we see the Lord, we're triggered.
Yeah.
And it causes us to lash out. I know for me, but it's he'll even take that, because as soon as you strike him or as soon as you get triggered, love gets to come out.
Yeah.
And the portal gets to open up around you.
Yeah.
And it just
Yeah.
It'll get you, man.
Oh, yeah.
The level of love. I've never experienced something like that until that dream. To that level.
Yeah.
I've had waves of it, but nothing where it felt the core of my body.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, I wasn't expecting to
No,
cry
it's
on this,
good.
but man, I would encourage, I just felt that, like, ask the Lord to show you.
Yeah.
To show you that love and to let the waves come and smash you.
Yeah.
Like, let it come over you. Even if, something triggers you that causes you to XYZ or whatever, but connect to him in it.
Yeah.
And know that when you're triggered, you're connecting. Like, let that be the moment of connection.
Yeah. It was like even the people that were hitting him were getting
they were everybody was
love.
getting whacked.
Yeah.
Everybody was getting whacked with love. It was like, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if you were even, have you ever seen like sound waves? Like when they go out, they never stop.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. It's like once love is released, which I believe he did fully on the cross.
Oh, yeah.
This thing has had this ripple effect. But as you get to see him more and more, it goes deeper and deeper and deeper. But I started listening on the drive over here. I was listening and thinking about the dream and just sitting in it. But I was listening to when we sang that Spontaneous that Laurel wrote. He's healing our family trees.
Yeah.
Wholeness for generations. For the longest time, I always saw it as just like individual family trees, right?
Right.
Like households. But I realized it's our family tree.
Yeah.
It's him. It's his family tree. He's been healing us from the tree of life.
Yeah.
And his blood is running through all of us.
Yeah.
And to recognize that we are of his DNA.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Well, that's what, just when you were telling me the dream, you said they hit his face. And he was impacted with love, and then they hit his body. And when you said that, it just made me think of us. It made me think of y'all's situation. It's like the same thing. Hit the body, love comes out,
Oof.
So, yeah, what a great question. What a great experience. And it's real. But it's like, ask him to show you that love.
Yeah.
I used to do that on my drives to work. I would drive the car and I would say, let me feel your love. Let me feel it. Hit me with it. And I would get hit with waves of it. I would feel like I was submerged in an ocean.
Yeah.
And it's, when you go sit at the bottom of the pool, okay, you can expel your breath and go sit at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like nothing.
Yeah.
It's peaceful. I felt like that. But I would get hit with the waves of emotion too and feeling it. And that's another thing we can do is like in the dream, you can watch him.
Yeah.
You can look at him,
That was one thing I've been thinking about the Bible. That's the one thing I really value about the Bible.
Yes.
Is that you can actually see him.
Yeah.
If there is a filter, if there is like a grid, this gives you a better grid. Yeah. Because you can see him unlocked. And so then you don't have to worry about,
Yeah.
Is he mean or not?
Right. Yeah, he's not.
It just, yeah, man, that flipping wrecked me. But, yeah.
That's great.
I just wanted to share it because I have been really on this kick for several months now about the unconditional love of God.
Yeah.
And not that here's the deal. I kind of get sick of how everybody gets so familiar with language. Everybody's like, we know that God is unconditional. Yeah. It's like, man, but go experience it. Go connect into it. Like, let it wash over you. Don't just obtain knowledge for knowledge's sake. Right. Like, knowledge plus experience is understanding. Yeah. Like, you have to have an experience with it. Yeah. For it to become a part of you.
Yeah, then it's belief. Yeah, then it's the truth. Yeah.
Yeah, then it becomes established within you.
Yeah.
But you have to experience it. Otherwise, it's theology.
Yeah.
Like, screw theology.
Right.
And so I've been in this vein, which I believe is why I even had that dream last night.
Yeah.
Because I've been sitting in unconditional love. I've been like allowing him to even show me the places that I've had conditions. Yeah. And even had the filters of like conditional love all over the place. And I just realized how often I put conditions upon the Lord. Yeah. like even thinking like I should pray that God would bless me for the day.
Yeah.
It's like, to me, that went into conditional mode. Like, Lord, if I serve you today, I'll honor you today. Bless me.
Yeah.
Or bless me and I'll honor you. It's like,
yeah, I had one like that on my way here.
These are all conditions.
Yeah.
Instead of just receiving it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this morning, we've got the mayor coming on next, and then I'm going to visit the movie set people. So I'll be encountering new people. But I was praying on my way here. I was like, I started to ask him, like, hey, like, let's love these people. Let's have favor. And I caught myself, and I just heard like, no, but you're with me. It's happening. Yeah. I don't have to ask for it. Yeah. And there was this sense of unity just with his spirit. It's like, man, we're together in this. Like I don't have to ask for it. Yeah. And it was relief because I was about to kick into prayer mode. Yeah. And start covering my bases for the day. As if I didn't, then something,
you'd miss an opportunity.
Yeah. But it was just, there was this unity of like, nope, we're good. Yeah. We're good.
I love, like, I don't think that we can just, because I feel like we're kind of limited in our perspective. Yeah. I never want to live under assumptions of just assuming. Yeah. Like, whatever his heart intention is for a moment. Like, I want to actually connect to his heart intention. It's like, okay, well, what's the heart? Like, what's our play? Yeah. Or what are we doing here? Right. But even in that, yesterday, the Lord really checked me on that because I literally wrote out, I was like, okay, what's our play today?
What's the plan?
What's the plan? Yeah. And I even, I literally said, what do I get to delight in with you today? Yeah. And because that was my focus. I was like, I just want to delight. I just want to do this. Well, he gave me a scripture that instantly I read it and I was like, oh, that's good. I'll work in that. And I was like, yeah, it was like about being generous or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'll work in being generous today. Like, let me find an opportunity to be generous and like all this stuff. And it's like, holy crap, dude. Yeah. I literally laughed to myself and I was like, how religious. Yeah. I am unwiring 100% this religious grid. Yeah. That thinking, if he gives me an assignment, I now have to go accomplish it. Right. Instead of us doing it. Yeah. Yeah. But just being together. Right. Yeah. It's like, just be with him. Yeah. Just open up and just connect in the day. Yeah. Like, give space to him at all times. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that happen before with little personal mission. Is like, I'm going to give somebody a word today. Just did that. Yeah. Or I'm going to hit up, a couple people throughout my day. And I did, and it was real. But the best ones where I can feel it and it feels clear and free is the ones that I don't plan. Totally. It's the ones that just hit me out of living in that love. Yeah. Out of seeing people with that love and feeling it for myself. Yeah. And then it just happens. The downloads and the drops just happen. Those are the best ones too. Yeah.
I feel like that's the key is like, we should learn to, or just like be, like delight with him. And then if he's like, hey, let's go talk to them. Like, we go together. Yeah. It's like, we're not, I think there's way too much work involved in a lot of things.
There is.
And I think it robs the joy and the delight of life out.
Yeah, it does.
Because we're always striving to do something, or we're striving to be something, or we're striving to minister, or we're striving to release the presence, or like, it's like, bro, let's just freaking all chill out and be. Right. Like, let's be normal. Let's connect to God and connect to other people. Yeah. And know that he's in our midst and give space to him. Yeah. Like,
that's the way to do it. That takes, and the focus is like, just feel the love. Be in the love, feel the love. That's it. Whatever happens at that point.
And I feel like one of the keys is to actually look for things that you just delight in throughout the day. Yeah. Like, find the things that bring you delight. Yes. Because delight unlocks something within you. Yeah. I think that we have access to the Lord as we access our emotions. Yeah. As we access our 5 senses. Yeah. So if you start to smell something, right? Like, and I mean like literal.
Yeah.
Like say you're cooking. Like focus in on the fact that you're smelling something so sweet
Yeah.
and so beautiful. I guarantee you'll feel the presence of the Lord in that moment.
Yeah.
Focus on something that you hear. Like for me, the birds chirping does something to me.
Yeah.
It centers me. I'm like, oh, this is
cool.
so delightful. And when I start to feel the bliss of things, I recognize that the Lord's been with me all along, even faster.
Yeah. I got one like that. You brought up the smells. First off, the azaleas are out right now.
Yeah.
They smell incredible. And it makes me think of like summertime. I know it's spring, but it gives me the summer, want to go run out in the sun kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, the other day, I don't remember where I was at. I was in a store of sorts, and this like cold, like old AC unit smell hit me, and it instantly transported me back to like when I was a teenager at this like summer camp with my friends where we would make movies with the old VHS, like the old camcorders.
Yeah.
But I remember those places. They're really precious in my timeline, you know, and nostalgic, but the smell transported me there. And I was able to sit in it, and it just brought the rush of like my friends and like all the fun that we had, just dreaming up the ideas and like laughing and stuff. And I was able to I probably just stood there in the grocery store, wherever I was at. I probably just stood there and sat in it. Because I was like, man, this is nice. But I appreciate everything.
That's heaven, though.
Everything.
Think about this, because in Romans it says that the kingdom of heaven is righteousness, peace, and joy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That means heaven had enveloped you.
Right. Yeah.
We're looking for some kind of mystical, great experience, and it's like, dude, it's
everywhere. It's in everything.
Yeah, if you choose to delight and see it around you.
Yeah.
Because it's there.
Right.
You can engage with it, interact. I love that, though.
Yeah. But the smell, so specific, and I haven't smelled it since then. Because it felt so refreshing. Like, oh my God, I had forgotten the smell. Like I'd forgotten the smell. And I was so appreciative of like, oh, feels like I'm there. It's great. So, yeah, smells.
How beautiful, man. If you think about it, like, I feel like our senses they really are the quickest way to access things of the kingdom.
Right.
And not even like, oh, I had a vision or whatever. Like, actually just look at the things you see. Like, let your, like the fact that I'm sitting in here looking at James.
Yeah.
I can go into something because I'm like, oh, I really appreciate James.
Yeah.
Man, look at him in his little done-up shirt. It looks so good. He looks so fancy today. You know, and it's like you can actually start to connect into, oh, man, James has such an incredible purpose. Oh, I'm so incredibly thankful for him and his friendship. And then instantly you're in Thanksgiving. You know what I mean?
There you are. Yeah. Well, I mean, look where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Sitting in this soundproof room, but like doing this podcast a year in. And we're sitting here in the same place we sat in like 60 episodes ago.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And look what the Lord's blessed us with. The resources to even do this.
Yeah.
And to meet people that we never, wouldn't have met otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's cool. It's weird. It's awesome. It's the surface.
Are you ready for this? I read this yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy moly. I got to sit in this for a second. So I'm going to read this, and I really want you to tell me what stands out to you first.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Then justice will dwell in the wilderness, and righteousness remain in the fruitful field. The work of righteousness will be peace, and the effect of righteousness, quietness and assurance forever. My people will dwell in a peaceful habitation, in secure dwellings and in quiet resting places. Though hail comes down on the forest, and the city is brought low in humiliation, blessed are you who sow beside all waters, who send out freely the feet of ox and the donkey.
Wow. That's a lot. The crux of it all was peace to me.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
Well, and now the whole thing is a long sentence, it's a long one. But didn't it say, like, your works will be peace?
Yeah, the work of righteousness will be peace.
The work of righteousness will be peace, which is it's rest and trust.
Yeah, man.
And love. But carrying that, yeah.
That one got me, man. The 17, it's Isaiah 32, 17. The way that you can read it in the ESV, it says, the effect of righteousness will be peace.
Yeah.
It's like, these are the effects of just being in right standing with God.
Yeah.
When you realize that you're not separated and you're connected to Him, there's going to be peace. That's the work of it. Mm-hmm. Like, that works out, basically.
Yeah.
When you just know that you are connected.
Right. It's true.
And the result of righteousness, right, is quietness.
It's a chain reaction.
And trust. Mm-hmm. Or security forever.
Yeah.
It's like, to me, it struck me so hard, right? That it's like, and then justice. I literally thought Jesus, then Jesus will dwell in the wilderness.
Yeah.
And righteousness abide in the fruitful field. Mm-hmm. Like, we are His righteousness.
Yeah.
Like, we abide in the fruitful field, meaning everything around us is fruitful.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and He is our justice too.
Yeah.
Yeah, He takes care of all of it.
And He's in the wilderness with us. And so it's like, we have a fruitful field.
Yeah.
Like, the field is ripe for the harvest is what that makes me think of when Jesus said that.
Right.
It's like, the work of it is peace. So we don't even have to strive to reach the fruit. Right. We don't even have to work into the fruit. It's like, everything's there.
Yeah.
We actually can just be and rest, and peace will guide it. Like, peace is the result of stuff.
Yeah.
So if you don't have peace, you're probably working at something.
Yeah, right.
That's my new simplistic, I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's good. That makes it easy, too. It's like, if you don't have peace,
you're probably working at something.
Yeah, have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you can have it. If you don't have it, then you can.
Yeah. That's like, just recognize that you've already been made right with God. Like, everything is already come into alignment, come into agreement. And all you have to do is be like, yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I have peace.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I think oftentimes we kick into this mode of like, really, I feel like we're all trying to gain God's approval. Mm-hmm. You know, like, we treat others the way that we think God's treating us.
Yeah.
And I think there's always just this hustle mentality, you know, this grind or this...
What do you think? That's an interesting one. Everyone's seeking to gain God's approval. What do you think is after that? What do you think is, once you have the full approval and you know it? What's next?
I think it's life and life abundantly.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like, when you recognize that and come into full agreement with it, you're freaking untouchable.
Yeah.
You know, I think that there's like, God's approval, I think we're all actually searching to some degree because we don't feel worthy of it.
Yeah.
So we're trying to hustle in our life because we think that finances come by what we all work out and what we put our hands to. But I think if we surrendered it, more things would be gravitated towards us.
Yeah.
Kind of be like a vortex.
Yeah.
Because we'd be surrendered into His love. That's the deal.
Right.
Like, I think full acceptance is realizing how freaking loved you are. It's back all the way from my dream. It's actually like receiving and like getting the waves of unconditional love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I feel like life looks way less stressful.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, it's just the approval of God is, I feel like it's laid out so much that it's so tangible in there. I know the religious mindset and system is like, really, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
But it's just so there. I don't know.
You know, I was listening to somebody the other day who was talking about it, though. It's like, you know, we often are like, who's the leader, who's leading this thing, or like really trying to develop our functions.
Mm-hmm.
And even in that, I was listening to people and I was like, yeah, I mean, I can kind of get that. I'm not so sure I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if we went all the way back to just simple connection to God?
Yeah.
And then what if everything else fell into place from that
Mm-hmm.
period?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
instead of trying to develop or sharpen our function or sharpen this or sharpen that or sharpen our skills. And, you know, there's always been this like, well, God really likes excellence and we've got to strive into excellence and like be excellent. And it's like, maybe there's truth to that.
Yeah.
I'm probably just not there in my life at this moment.
Well, I mean, he's the head and we're the body, so let him have his way, you know?
Totally.
Just chill out and let him do it.
Yeah, but
let him lead you.
To me, if he's the good shepherd, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to try and strive into excellence or have excellence in something. I just actually follow him, and the things that are already within me are going to come out.
Yeah, well, and that's the same thing like we said earlier. Like, sit in his love.
Yeah.
And everything will just fall in front of you and fall into place.
Man, I think about like these people like Elijah.
Yeah.
Or Elisha, right? Elisha's the one where people fell on his bones and they just popped up.
Yeah.
Right? The dude's dead. He didn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's like, how much are we emitting that level of power?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that actually just comes from connecting to him. But I think even in our skill set, I'll say that, is developed by connecting to him.
Yeah.
But connecting in the vein that we were created in, right?
Right.
So like, I love thinking about like Laurel, right? Laurel is one of the most brilliant songwriters I know.
Mm-hmm. Remember when she first, this popped into my head the other day. When she first showed up, we were doing the Creative Collective and she showed up and sang a song. I think she wrote it. Sorry, flashback, but it was incredible.
Oh yeah.
Incredible. Her voice is too.
Oh,
all of it. And she was playing, I think she was playing the ukulele.
Yeah.
I have to ask her about that. Sorry, go ahead.
That was her instrument of choice.
Yeah, it was good.
She's excellent.
Yeah.
But I think about her, right? She didn't go through all of this mad training and all this, like, she literally connects to God.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how she does. Like in her quiet time, in her like one-on-one, she sings.
Yeah.
She connects to him that way.
Mm-hmm.
So then it just overflows. It's like, what if we just all did that? What if whatever we're quote unquote functioned, called to, whatever, what if we just connected to God in that manner?
Yeah.
In that way.
Right.
You know, like Alan connects to him playing the guitar.
Yeah. And what would come out of that? What would he give you to establish here?
Mm-hmm.
The songs, music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Film?
Yeah, exactly.
Playwriting?
All of it.
I mean,
sky's the limit. Yeah.
Even leadership, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get a little weird out here. What if you actually started exercising the leadership in the courtrooms of heaven and actually connecting to him in that manner?
Yeah.
To see the authority that we actually can render into the heavens.
Yeah.
And actually start being a part of the divine council if you think you're called to be a leader.
Right.
Like, why don't we start functioning in the heavens, in the quiet place, in the secret place, and then see what rolls out?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's weird, but...
It's not weird.
Also, I think everything starts in the secret place.
Yeah, it does.
So it's like, you know, you can... I don't know. I even think about me and the health stuff and all of that.
Yeah.
Like... If I haven't connected to him in the secret place, all of my knowledge is like worthless.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not going to help. You can give people knowledge, but I don't think people don't have lasting change.
Right.
If you're not connecting to him in the secret place and then being able to impart that to other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just my thoughts.
Yeah. But without him, it's pale and lame. I get that a lot.
Yeah.
I get a lot of stuff like that up here. Well, that's rude, but yeah, with that lack him, you can tell what lacks him, what he's not a part of, and it's just like, it's not the same.
Mm-hmm. That's like,
it's not substantial.
Well, for example, I had somebody come in the other day who has debilitating migraines.
Yeah.
Actually has to wear sunglasses and noise-canceling headphones all the time, everywhere. They sat in front of the Rife machine with me.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Okay. Like, I'm here for that.
Yeah.
But I connected to the Lord in it. I'm also this person. I didn't tell him I was praying over him.
Yeah.
But I prayed over him.
Yeah.
And probably shouldn't have said that. For the first time ever, he didn't have a headache when he walked out of that room.
Excellent.
It's like, we can try and do things in a very carnal manner.
Yeah.
And even just by the logical things.
Yeah.
You know, like, or we can just connect to him and watch your life actually unravel.
Yeah.
And I mean,
you prayed for him without him knowing about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bam.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's just so much of that, like the simplicity.
Yeah.
So many things happen if there's just the simplicity.
Yeah.
And then the Lord will teach you.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Lord teaches you how to
navigate
all things, or even like express things,
yeah.
or, you know, teach things,
yeah.
or like.
Absolutely.
The Lord's going to be the one that leads you down that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just feel like there's so much more that we can tap into.
Yeah.
But we kind of limit the depths of stuff because of, I think we try and put God into the structures of this domain.
Yeah.
But love is outside of this domain.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the renewal of the mind. All of it. All of it is. Every little thing.
I just like it. I like the idea of going so much wider and deeper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm really starting to get on this track that I think we should already be functioning fully in the heavenlies before we ever function here on the earth.
I agree.
Like with anything that we're putting our hands to.
Yeah.
Like everything should already be in the secret place. It should be what the Lord has already shown us.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, that's like David and Goliath in the secret place, him taking out the bear and the lion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then him showing up. Nobody knew. I don't even know if anybody knew he did that because everybody didn't have any faith in him, in his ability or his connection with the Lord.
But I also think that, okay, I'm going to get weird. I think some people interpret, I love that example.
Yeah.
And just because I've had these conversations, and for a long time, I've interpreted this way. Like, I would see it as the things that I'm dealing with in the natural.
Yeah.
Right? The lions or the bears will prepare me for something that I'm going to encounter in the natural later.
Sure.
I think it's much deeper than that.
Yeah.
I think it's things that you encounter in the spirit realm. I think it's the things that you allow yourself to go into and meditate on and ask the Lord to take you into different places. And I think showing you different domains and showing you what's happening over different regions. And I mean, but it's all in connection with Him. But I also think that we can go into different dimensions.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's much more simple than people realize.
Yeah.
Like, it's a matter of letting go of a religious grid and connecting into unconditional love. Because I think unconditional love will take you into those.
Yeah, so let Him take you. He'll take you where you need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into those domains. But I think we're all designed and created to go into them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We are.
You know, like in the courtrooms, in the heavenlies, like to take every accusation that has been put against us or that we've put against other people, and we're supposed to take it to the cross.
Yeah.
I think that's an actual place we can go and nail it.
Right. Yeah.
I also think, you know, that's not just figurative. I think that we can actually go. We can go there. We can
absolutely
travel into that time period.
Yeah. Well, you did last night in your dream.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
You traveled into that moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I traveled
into that. He brought you there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I went into that moment. It wasn't just a pretty picture.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't just like fluff.
Or just a picture like, oh, what a good story. What a
Yeah,
storybook.
yeah.
You know, it was like,
Sure.
well, I actually lived the story last night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Therefore, I became a part of it.
Yep.
That thing became a part of me.
Absolutely.
There's a deeper part that was imparted.
Yeah.
But I think we can. I think we can go into different. I won't go too far.
Well, you can go as far as you want to. This is for.
I think we can travel. I think that we should be traveling in the spirit. I think that we should be translating.
Yeah.
I think that we should be, connecting to God in all things takes every single boundary and limit off.
Yeah, completely.
And I think it's not just bound to this carnal world.
Right.
I think it's so much more depth. I think we can go to different universes. I think that, I think this has been something that's been sticking with me for a long time. Not a long time, I shouldn't say that. A couple of months. So it talks about that all creation is groaning for the sons of God to be revealed.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think creation is just the trees and the birds and things on earth.
Yeah.
Right? I think anything that he spoke, which was the heavens.
Sure. Yeah, that's it.
I think they're craving and dying to hear the most beautiful love story.
Yeah.
And we are the love story.
Right.
Where he came and he restored all of humanity.
Yeah.
To put us in our rightful place, to redeem everything.
Yeah.
It's the most brilliant love story that there is.
Yeah.
And we get to be the ones that get to put that thing on display.
Yeah.
We get to uncover it, reveal it. It's like, that's why we have to connect and want to connect into unconditional
and
love.
Everything hinges on that.
Yeah.
On us stepping into that. Yeah.
But we should okay, call me weird. I think we should go to the different universes and actually preach the gospel and show them this beautiful love story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unlock the grids,
Well, yeah. That's something to meditate on too. No limits. Meditate on no limits.
Yeah.
Are we immortal? I think we are. I think it's all throughout the Bible.
Yeah.
Can we time travel? Can we translate to another part of the world in like half a second? Can we go to other dimensions?
Why not?
Yeah. I do believe we can. It's not weird. It's been made to be weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Here's a thought. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So one thing I really like doing, and is reading the
it's a
okay
employee. We're good.
Are the mystics?
Yeah,
like the old.
Yep.
The old folk. Not
people
really.
That live out in the mountains that are 900 years old.
Yeah, that too. But I've read this book and I think it's brilliant, to be honest. Right? There's a story of this mystic. Because there's people that have been operating in this level of power forever.
Oh, yeah.
These things are not new.
Right.
But the story goes that this guy moved in crazy amount of power.
Yeah.
Translated, this was before they had cars and stuff, but translated 40 miles to appear before a court because his daughter or son, one of them, was charged with murder, but it wasn't true. And he translated, told them the story because he went and raised the guy from the dead and was like, hey, tell them the truth.
Yeah.
So the dead guy came into the courtroom.
Yeah.
Told them. Then he went back because he wanted to.
Yeah.
So
that's beautiful.
Son or daughter was off the hook, right?
Yeah.
Which I'm like, what? Yes.
Yeah.
More of that, please.
100%. Yeah.
But then the same guy goes, somebody comes and pulls him out of the courtroom and was like, hey, somebody had just died. Somebody had murdered him off the side, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
He raises him from the dead. And I guess that there was a cemetery. I need to find this exactly.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I don't remember exactly the sequence of events. But I do know that these things happened. But then he was next to a cemetery and he felt like he needed to raise these specific bones
Yeah.
This person that's been dead for quite some time
Yeah.
felt like he needed to raise him back from the dead. So he did. That person came back and actually thanked him because of this place that he was at was basically the life that he had created here on the earth.
Wow.
But it was empty and it was devoid.
Sure.
And that guy lived for another like 2 or 3 years. But he said, thank you for coming and telling me the gospel.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, well, what if we expanded our mind a little bit? What if, like Jesus, we're supposed to be like Jesus, and he went and preached, right? When he took back the keys of death and Hades, right? And he went and preached to what I believe were the Nephilim, right? What if we're actually supposed to be preaching to people on the other side of the tracks who actually didn't know Jesus on this side?
Well, that is included in all of creation as well.
But who's to say, and why did we come up with this theory that death is final?
Right.
Like you have a final choice. Yeah. And if you don't make it before you die, you're done.
Right.
Where, if anybody can find that in the Bible, let me know. But, I mean, it's thought provoking, right?
Yeah.
Like, why is this one death the absolutism?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And why are we not telling this beautiful love story to anything and everything that we encounter?
Absolutely.
Think about Jesus, right? When he encountered the demons, he encountered them with unconditional love.
Yeah.
He never even shamed the demons.
Right.
He didn't, I mean, he cannot be anything but love, right? And to me, that is just a profound thought. Mm-hmm. So even the demonic things that we are encountering, it shouldn't be this.
Yeah. I banish you back to hell.
Yeah.
You
aggressive, like.
Yeah, yelling at it and
Yeah, why are we kicking into that gear?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I don't ever see Jesus doing that.
I don't either.
Screaming at them, making them like.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like feel like him.
Nah.
I don't know. Those are my thoughts.
It's good.
Went on a rabbit trail, but
I like rabbit trails. I like it. Well, it's like unwind or loosen up the absolutes. What we think is absolute, and just allow yourself to just consider. I mean, that's a good starting place. Let's allow ourselves to consider the impossible, or to consider all these things.
Or even the beliefs that we've held.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. And there's some too. Man, that recent one that we talked about the other day.
Yeah.
When I listened to that one, that was, that could be extremely highly offensive. Where when you hear that, you just shut it off. And we'll cover that
later.
But that whole thing, it triggered me back to go all through the Bible, through my past, through what people had taught me.
Yeah.
And it was like that vine. You remember Daniel, one of the messages, is one of those vines that grows on a tree and you have to like separate it.
Yeah.
It's like it's trying to grow with the tree. It felt like that to me. It was like, oh. And then you pull on it. It's like, oh, this thing is like much deeper than the surface. Mm-hmm. Which was cool because I did not expect a big one like that. I was like, oh, wow.
I love it.
I do too.
I'm like, let's challenge every thought that we have. Yeah. Because truth always remains.
Yes. If it's true, it's there. It's not going anywhere. You can question it. You can hold anything up to truth.
Totally. And you don't have to be afraid that all of a sudden.
Yeah. Your foundation's gone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Or you're in heresy or it's like, yo. Yeah.
No, hold anything up to truth. Question everything. Hold it all up to truth. It's Jesus. The truth is Jesus. And you'll find that out.
For real.
It's just how it is, which is great.
Jesus is everything, man.
He is.
Literally everything.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so true. But it's fun. And it feels like that, a new frontier. It feels like sails, like setting sail. And it feels like that cave. It feels like that orange and purple cave that the cloud of witnesses is like, go this way, go this way. Mm-hmm. Feels like the new uncharted territory.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's like new, but also very familiar.
Yeah, right.
And I mean that as in like, that feeling that you had or that smell, like it was familiar. Mm-hmm. It felt.
Oh, yeah.
It had such pleasant memories.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like happens when you've connected into something. Like even setting off on something new is like, this feels
The
nostalgic.
line, yeah. Yep.
Because it's like,
It's just right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Zach and I, we were talking about this the other day. These are the weird things I talk about at home. You ready? I was like, babe, if we were in him before the foundations of the earth, all of us were. So what if we actually are really good friends with Peter and Paul and John and Thomas, and we forgot?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if we're all like best friends?
Yeah.
What if we all actually hung out for eternity prior to?
Yeah. This.
Yeah. And so, and like we cheered them on when they stepped in.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, go get them, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then they cheered us on like, hey, go get them, guys.
Right.
When we stepped into the earth.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like, what if you die? What if you dream and you wake up? What if you dream and then you're there?
Yeah.
Then you come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel that. I feel that too. I was thinking about that this morning.
Really?
Yes. I'm not kidding. I'm not just saying this stuff. I was thinking about all the future people that will be born here, that will be born into the world, and the past people.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like they're already in him.
Yeah.
So.
But we were already in him.
That we were, they are, we all already exist. It's just like.
We're already in him now too.
Yeah. I know it. Yeah.
So how do you know that you don't meet somebody if you're traveling in the spirit and you go and meet somebody who's going to come later?
Yeah. True. That's the time travel we talked about.
And what if they're imparting something to you? And what if somebody from the past is imparting something to you, and then you're also giving something to the past? And
what if we pray for somebody in the past?
Yeah. And what if it wasn't that we're changing the past, but we were actually always in the past?
Reinforcing it. Yeah. Yeah.
What if we had always already been in that moment that changed the course of history?
Right. Yeah. It's incredible.
I mean, they have too many pictures of people time traveling.
I've seen those. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, whatever.
It's just like, they're fun thoughts because it's like, we're so not small.
Right. Yeah.
It's really what gets me.
Well, going back to immortality, and we're eternal.
Yeah.
We really are. Because we're part of him. We're in him. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I would encourage anybody to like actually ask the Lord and write these down. Like, is there any place in my thoughts that I've limited you?
Yeah.
Or that I didn't even realize were caps?
Yeah.
And then let him touch on him.
Yeah. And allow yourself to test the waters with him. Just to expand the possibilities.
Yeah. And
Dude,
then
that sounds exciting. That gives me butterflies thinking about it. It's like, oh, what, just sitting in that.
What are the possibilities?
Well, maybe we can do this. Maybe we are capable of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think is interesting though? Is like, you know how we were talking about, the angels and how there was like confirmation about them or whatever.
Yeah.
For you, like the blue angels and then the blue and gold. And I was like, I was legitimately thinking like, why? I think it's cool that people see multiple things because clearly we're all doing the same thing. But I was like, what if we didn't need confirmation at all?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Right.
If we were just so full of assurance and we were so confident, Jesus never looked for confirmation.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So then it just made me think like, well, I won't go into that yet, but it's like, what if we were never looking for confirmation or assurance?
Confirmation still deals with unbelief to an extent.
Yeah. Because it's like, and I think the Lord is gracious. Like, I think it's beautiful 100%. That he gives confirmation.
Yeah.
But what if we didn't need it?
Right.
What if we didn't need that at all?
Yeah. We're getting there.
I know. We're definitely heading that direction.
Yeah. It's exciting.
So exciting.
Yeah, it is.
All right. That was good. That was fun.
Good. Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Ancient Way podcast, drop us a like, share with your friends, share with your family. And if you would like to support us and what we are doing, and you would like to play a direct role in our growth and things that we do in the future,
we have a donation spot at the bottom of our show notes. So you can click on that, give however much you want. We appreciate absolutely everything. We appreciate our listeners, and everybody that's already come alongside and encouraged us, and even everybody that's been on our show. So thanks, guys.